Hello, I am Brother Kelly Hughes, Chaplain of the Arts. We are broadcasting live to tape from the beautiful Valiant Theatre here in the heart of Winnipeg's greasy Tenderloin District. This is Kelly Hughes Live Slices, one guest, 1 hour. We broadcast on YouTube and 101.5 UMFM. Thank you so much for stopping by wherever you are, and thank you to my guest for stopping by, Catherine Wreford.
Yes, that's me.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
I realized my belt was, hang on.
Oh, I didn't even know.
For the video people, no, but there was something.
Do I look?
There was something I saw the other day on the internet where somebody's belt came out and then people were making fun of him that it looked like his wiener.
Yeah.
You know, boys. Now, lots of people know who you are. Would you say most people know who you are? Just lots. Some. Many.
Some.
But just give us like the Coles before we start cooking. Give us the Coles Notes version.
Grew up in Winnipeg.
Yeah. Went to Kelvin.
Went to River Heights.
Yeah.
Went to Robert H., River Heights, and Kelvin,
Yeah.
the old Robert H. And then moved to Toronto right away.
Yeah.
Did Stratford Festival.
Mm-hmm.
Then went to Broadway. Did a couple Broadway shows.
As one does.
As one does. Did a couple Broadway shows. Was on the Tony Awards twice. Then toured with 42nd Street, playing Peggy Sawyer.
In the heart of little old New York, you'll find a thoroughfare.
Yeah.
The honestly, Lullaby of Broadway and and the other one, 42nd Street, are the only two songs I know all the words to, because we did it in grade 12 and it just stuck with me. Well, I can't remember anything else. I can't
remember what 5 plus 5 is.
Can't remember passwords. I can't remember anything like that.
But you remember those lyrics.
Yeah.
I mean, songs are special, right?
Yeah.
Then I met Jeff Goldblum in Seattle. Mm-hmm. We got engaged. I moved in with him. I lived there for 3 years. We did lots of stuff. We made a movie. And then I...
was it WrestleManiac, or was that a different movie?
No, it wasn't WrestleMania. Was that WrestleMania?
You did one called with the Mexican wrestling one.
Oh, yeah. No, that was not. We did a movie that was about us. We played... I was Marion the Librarian, who was Harold Hill in The Music Man, and it was in Pittsburgh. Yeah. That's where he's from. So we made a movie about that, and they had cameras follow us for about a year. So that was great. And then we decided to break up because he didn't want to have kids at the time, and I really did. And so then I ran a mortgage company for 3 years in Los Angeles.
That makes sense.
Makes sense.
The logical next step.
I loved math,
yeah.
so I'm good at talking to people.
Yeah.
So I did that, and then I was doing a lot of bad stuff for my body, and I decided to become a nurse. So this is still in LA. Yeah. So I took my prereqs at SMC, Santa Monica College, and then met the father of my children in LA at a sushi restaurant because I quit the mortgage company to become a server at this high-end sushi restaurant, and he was the head bouncer.
Yeah. Quit your job as CEO to be a waitress. That's also normal, yeah.
Yep, right. Yeah. And then I graduated top of my class in Oklahoma because we'd moved there because he was from Oklahoma. And it was either Oklahoma or come back to Winnipeg. Yeah. And so I really didn't feel like I needed to come back to Winnipeg at that time. But so we moved to Oklahoma because his whole family's there and they seemed like lovely-ish people.
Sorry, no. I'm just such a theater kid because when I hear Oklahoma,
I know.
I just want to go. Oklahoma.
I was in Oklahoma on Broadway, so it was very strange for me to be living in Oklahoma after doing Oklahoma. And I still sing it all the time to myself, but I had not good memories of Oklahoma, except for some of the people were really nice. But so we moved there. I had 2 kids, graduated top of the class from nursing, and my daughter was 5 weeks old when I was diagnosed with terminal brain cancer. Oh. Yeah, 5 weeks old.
Yeah.
So I had a toddler and a 5-week-old, And Craig, after that I ran the Amazing Race and we won it.
Yeah.
Amazing Race Canada.
Yeah.
So, and we won it. So the person that was with me that made me go to the hospital was Craig.
Yeah. Your best Broadway friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we lived together in Toronto, New York, and LA.
Yeah.
So he said, "You need to go," because I stopped. We were making a we were making a workout of me with my daughter in Le Bjorn.
Yeah.
And I was like, "We have to stop. My head hurts too much." He goes, "You need to go to the hospital." I'm like, "Stop! Like, shut up, right?" He's like, "No, you would never stop if you weren't in a lot of pain." I was like, "Well, fine." So I went because it was a Saturday or Sunday, and I said, "I'll go Monday when you go." So I went, and they found a huge, big tumor, like bigger than my fist, right there.
How's there even room for that in there?
I don't know.
Your head's not that big.
I know. I have a tiny, tiny head. I wear children's hats. So yeah. So they found this big, huge tumor, and
What year are we at now?
2013.
Okay.
Yeah. 2013.
Okay.
And so it was this big, and I had to have an awake craniotomy, and they got it didn't get all of it out. They got some of it out, and because it was on my speech center, so I was awake. And then I did, proton therapy and 4 different kinds of chemotherapy, and I was given 2 to 6 years to live, and it's been almost 13. So
they were wrong.
They were wrong, or I'm just a stubborn asshole that won't let them kill me. I have 2 kids. I can't.
Yeah, and so you've still got your 2 kids. You 4 years ago you won the Amazing Race Canada.
Yeah.
And you have been doing all kinds of different things.
Yeah.
But including, are you ADHD?
Probably.
You seem like you must be, because you're like doing all the different things.
I mean, I was never diagnosed, but when I was little, my parents put me into everything so that I would use up all my energy.
Well, and you're 10 years younger than me, and even then, like when I was a kid, I'd never heard of it.
Oh,
yeah. Kids were just bad. There was no.
So in elementary school, when I would be done my work really fast, and my teachers would go outside and run around the block.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay. I would run around the block.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, hey, what now? Can I help? What can I do? And so I probably was, and I probably still am. But
you don't shake that. But yeah, I think that girls are diagnosed at such a lower rate, like just almost.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Oh, well, you're welcome.
Thank you.
But one of the things that I admire about you, because it's a thing that I try to do myself, is you put yourself out there. You seem, you're very honest. You talk about your life, and that's for different reasons. But have you always done that, or did you have a kind of an epiphany, a road to Damascus experience?
No, I didn't have a road to Damascus, but I've always been very open with everything. And as soon as I was diagnosed with brain cancer, I was like, I need to research this, and I need to talk about it, and because it makes me feel better when I'm talking about it.
Yeah. Part of your process.
Part of my process is to understand it.
Yeah.
And like really learn. So when I was first diagnosed, I'd they're like, don't look it up. I'm like, I'm super looking it up. So looked it up and discovered all these different things, where all these different places I could go to get 2nd and 3rd and 4th and 8 million opinions.
Yeah.
And so I did all of that and found, like, I had this is before they did this, I had my tumor tested, all the genetics tested.
Yeah.
And so I was able to find the biomarkers that reacted to my cancer, and was able to get that chemotherapy that matched what was in my tumor. Yeah. So I think that
Were you in the States?
I was in the States, yeah.
Okay.
So I had an awake craniotomy.
Yeah.
Proton therapy, and 4 different kinds of chemotherapy. Take a guess at how much that would have cost me. Just a wild guess.
Oh my God, like $500,000? Like a lot.
More. Way more.
I don't even want to say, like, it's so...
3.1 million.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And so did...
I had insurance.
Yeah.
But we still had to pay $20,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. But because I was a nurse, I went to where I was a nurse.
Yeah.
And everybody knew me, but they hadn't met Quinn yet.
Yeah.
So, my daughter. So I went in and they were like, oh, Kevin, that's not your daughter. I'm like, yeah, her name's Quinn. So I went straight in and I thought something was wrong with my heart because I had sort of like heart palpitations and they did 2 EKGs. And one of the nurses was like, oh, you might have a brain bleed because you gave birth naturally. And I was like, oh, you're so smart. So I went into the CT scan and that's when everything kind of changed.
When did you come back to Canada?
Exactly a year after I was diagnosed, like the 24th of June. So I was diagnosed 24th of June, and I moved the 24th of June, 2014.
So you've had a bunch of your. Do you have your medical? Have you had your bunch of medical stuff done here? Or do you go back?
I stay. Yeah. So I was transferred because I was still doing chemo.
Yeah.
To Dr. Pete's, who's amazing.
Yeah.
He actually just lives down the street from me. Small world.
Yeah,
but
that's Winnipeg.
Yeah, right. So he's on this board, the CCTG, which is the Canadian Cancer Trials Group.
Yeah.
And so he asked me to be on it a couple years ago. So I'm the patient representative for everybody that has brain cancer in Canada. So I'm just the patient rep. So I read through all the trials and I help them put it into normal language so people can read it and people can understand what they're getting into and if they want to do that. And I give advice on maybe you make this maybe not every month, maybe every 2 months that you have to. So anyway, I do a lot of that. And I'm the ambassador for Brain Cancer Canada. And so I'm flying out there on May 22nd to host their gala.
Yeah. So what, with all your advocacy, like what do you think is the best outcome? What do you hope that you can do with that?
Well,
aside from just process it for yourself and run around the block.
Right. We want to make brain cancer a disease that you can live with. Or maybe not cure it, but live with it. Like glioblastoma patients die in like 12 to 18 months. Yeah. And it sucks. And I've lost so many friends that way. Because I used to be, before COVID, I was the patient, or not the patient representative, the head of the brain tumor support group here in Winnipeg. Yeah. So, and then COVID hit, so we did it online for a little bit, and yeah. The
Zoom stuff, I hated all the Zoom stuff.
Me too.
So what does brain cancer need? What does brain cancer need to
money.
be? Yeah.
It needs so much more money. Like I was on a panel the other night, and it's the #1 killer of kids, brain cancer.
Really?
And it's still considered a rare disease. So, like
I assumed it would be eating Tide Pods, but yeah.
Yeah, no. So it's still a rare disease. So there's no money being filtered into it. And also too, like GBM, like glioblastoma, you die so quickly from it that you can't get them enrolled in a trial. You can't have a trial so there's really, and the blood-brain barrier. So it's like they can't figure out how to get the right drugs into the brain and to, it's a fight. It's a fight. Yeah.
Now I want to talk about some of the Amazing Race stuff after. After.
It's a lot. It's fun.
I want to have some fun at the end, but I want to talk about some serious things. One of the things that you have been talking about quite a bit is domestic violence and your own experience and sort of putting that out there. How's that going?
It's going okay. Now that we are officially divorced, now I can talk about it. Because for a couple, it's been over 3 years now. But for the first year or two.
He is still in Winnipeg?
Yes. Yeah. He's still in Winnipeg. Yeah. And he gets my kids 50% of the time. Yeah. Which before he didn't ever want to have them. Okay. So now that we're separated, he has to have them. For 50% of the time, and I away a lot for conferences and for meetings and for work. None of that time gets made up. Yeah. it's hard. It's hard for the kids. When they come back to me, they're like, they've had to be on their best behavior the whole time they're with the other parent, and they're so wound up. And so when I get them, they're just kind of like, and sometimes they just want to be by themselves. Sometimes they are attached to me. You know, and so I just sort of feel what they're doing, how they're coming back to me, and I sort of adjust to that. But it's tough, and you know, Elliot and Quinn are both amazing singers and dancers, especially Elliot. And when I left,
a triple threat like you.
He was in MTC with me. He was like, he's full actor, full equity, everything at the age of 10.
Wow.
And when we split, he would not let him do any acting or singing or anything. So he was in musical theater. And his dad said, no, you can't do it. So he went it was every Friday. And we split Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So every Friday when he was with him, he wouldn't let him come. But I was able to go pick up my daughter to bring her. So they were both in the musical theater that night. And so I guess then he decided, because Elliot was really good. So he was getting better than Joel was. So Joel has a theater degree from UCLA. Sorry, didn't mean to say his name. So my ex, I'm probably not allowed to say his name, but my ex.
He's probably not going to. Lord Voldemort is probably not going to watch this.
No. Yes. It's a good name. So he has a theater degree from UCLA. So, but never used it at all. And anyway, I paid off all his college debt and all that stuff. Anyway, so when Elliot started getting good and better than he was, he made him stop. And that was sort of after we broke up. He's like, no, you don't want to do that. No, you don't want to do that. And he was really, really, really good. And he was in the music festival. And he won every year. And the year we had split, he won, and for the third time, and he was being presented with a trophy at this award ceremony, and because it was his day, he wouldn't let him come, so I had to accept the award for him. I'm like, I'm so sorry, my son could not be here because my ex won't let him be here, and he's doing nothing today, so I'm accepting this. And it was like, and everybody was like, what? Why is he not? I'm like, it was so devastating that he wouldn't even let him come and get his award. For being such a great singer. And as a boy, too, it's like it's hard to get guys to sing. Anyway.
Yeah, I hear that. So what is it like? One thing that's interesting to me is you're sitting here, we're recording this, it's going to be on the internet, it's going to be on the radio, and you're, trash talking your ex.
I'm not trash talking.
You know what I mean?
But I'm just saying what's real.
I know, but you know what I mean. It's sort of like, to me, it feels like kind of a social taboo that you're not supposed to speak publicly about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. But if I don't talk about it, it gets hidden, right? And so many people are being abused. I was physically, but mostly emotionally abused by this person, and I hate using this word, but it's a total narcissist. And everybody's like, oh, I'm a narcissist, you're a narcissist, we're all narcissists, but he is textbook a narcissist. And I really don't like using that word, but when you think about it, and I don't, it was from other people that were telling me this, not just me saying it. And they're like, you have to get rid of him, he's such a narcissist. Well, I'm like, he's a what? Well, I haven't even heard that word before. So, and I sort of became more familiar to me as I was sort of living through it. But when we won the Amazing Race, he wouldn't speak to me for 2 days. Silence for 2 days. And mad at me. I was terrified.
Were you still together?
Yeah. So he got half the money from that.
Oh my God.
Which is fine, whatever. But so I called him in the middle of the night to tell him that we had won.
Yeah.
And he got furious with me and hung up the phone. And then the next day when we got home, we came back with like all of the people that were filming the intro and everything. And like the head of the would not talk to me for 2 days.
And did he ever like give you a reason, or he was just there was no ostensible reason, he was just
because my phone didn't work when I got off the plane when I landed.
Yeah.
And he's like, you didn't call me. You said you were going to call me when you landed. And I was like, my phone. Yeah. And I was desperately trying to use Craig's phone, but he was talking to some other buddy on the phone. I was like, please, Craig, please, because we're going to get, I need to use your phone. Yeah. And I was panicking, and he didn't even show up. He hid when we got down there. And I was like, oh no, he left already. Yeah. And then he's like, no, I'm right here. And I was like, and I was trying to pretend that everything was okay, but I was like, trying too hard, I think.
No, it is, I think, like I said, I admire you for talking about that stuff, because I think people need to see other people standing up for themselves. Yeah. I mean, certainly a lot of times you see people capitulating. I mean, you see the other side of it very obviously. For a long time,
obviously. I did that.
Yeah.
That's what I did for a long time. I made up excuses for him.
Yeah, you wake up every morning and you don't know how your day's going to go, and it doesn't have anything to do with you. Mm-hmm. I'm familiar with that one.
I was walking on eggshells every morning, and I would get up and I tried to be really quiet, go downstairs, make breakfast, and get the kids up and send them to school.
And then you start lying, and not about anything, just about because you know that if you say this thing, it's going to piss them off, so you say this thing.
But that pisses them off too, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you can't win. It's like at some point I was just like, I don't even want to say anything because I'm going to get in trouble anyway. Yeah.
So since you're just telling me and us all about everything, like how hard was it to actually go?
So it's sort of been. So we decided that we were going to separate, and he was looking for a place to live in the area around River Heights, so that he could. So what we were planning on doing was, when I had the kids, I'd be at the house, and then I would go to my parents' house,
right,
2 streets over.
Yeah.
And then I was like, we went and saw all these different places, and this was wrong with this one, and this was wrong with this one, and I was like, you're never gonna go. You are never gonna go. And I did a keynote out in Portage la Prairie, and it was like a women's, of all women. Yeah. And the mayor of Portage la Prairie was there. And at the very end, I said, I'm going to leave my husband tomorrow. And they all stood up and clapped. And I said, I am done being abused, and I need to go. And so my mom was there with me. Yeah. And they gave us a bunch of wine to take back to our hotel. And I sat with my mom, and I said, it's so weird to think that I'll never sleep at home again. Yeah. And my mom was like, yeah, and the room is ready for you. So I moved into their house, into the office, and we turned it into a bedroom. Yeah. Yeah. So it was all ready, and there was a bed in there. Yeah. So because when we first moved to Winnipeg, we our entire family stayed at my parents' house until we found our house. Yeah. So we slept in the office. Elliot slept in my old room, and Quinn slept in my sister's old room, and we made beds, we painted it, we made it all nice for them, because they slept there more than they slept at our house. Because when I had to be up and gone before, when they were little, when I had to be gone before the kids were awake or just getting awake, I'd say, can you please get up and help them get ready for school? And and he used to, I don't know what he does now, but he used to drink a lot, and he'd be passed out on the couch or in bed passed out, and I couldn't wake him up. And so, sorry, touched my mic. So it was, can we leave them at my parents'? Yeah. Because, and he goes, yeah. So we always ate dinner at my parents because he worked in the evenings. Yeah. So we always would have dinner at my parents. So, and then I would just put them to sleep, put them to bed, come home, and they'd go to school in the morning. So every time they slept at our house, when we didn't do that, they were always late for school.
Yeah.
So it's just easier and lovely for me to have them over there because I knew they weren't getting.
I can't even imagine. I mean, I was married for 15 years, and the one kind of good thing about it was we didn't have kids,
Right.
because then we would have been stuck with each other, as you know. But I even so, like, I remember, I just remember having so many feelings after I left. Even though it was just on the whole like pretty bad, lots of feelings of guilt, and then lots of feelings of kind of regret and of like
Of leaving her? Or?
yeah, just kind of this was my life for so long, because we had to sell our house, and my life had just changed so much, and just even the thought like, this person that I've seen every day for 15 years, like, I'm just not gonna. I mean, she did call me every day for a year and a half and yell at me, and I couldn't figure out. I was so kind of shell shocked, and kind of I finally just like turned my phone off and put it in a drawer, and then never. It's probably still in the drawer, like, But it just like for me, and I mean, I had a lot of like. My dad left my mom, and she like. My mom made us think about it like my whole, kind of growing up. Like, actually, this is, I don't know, like I'm not a men's rights guy, but just when my sister and her husband split up, and there was a bit of a thing, I appreciated that she let the kids, and they were splitting them, and that they had access to their dad, even though that, she disapproved of whatever. Because when I was growing up, like, my dad left when I was 11, and my mom made it so that I couldn't go to his house. And so I never actually went into his house until I was 19. So it was 8 years, and because I was an adult.
Right.
And my mom was, so I'm not saying, I'm not making a thing,
We share them 100%.
But I just, so for me, sorry, I was talking about how
I don't think we should share them. I'll get to that later. Yeah.
But when I left, I had just kind of, we had this thing in my family about how leavers are bad, and this whole thing. So that was that was sort of part of our kind of family narrative. So that was all your things that you pick up along the way, kind of.
My parents are still together.
Yeah.
So they're 82 and almost 80, and I kind of take care of my dad a little bit now. Yeah. So they're in one room, daughter's in another, Elliot's in one, and I'm in the other one. It's a 4-bedroom house on Elm Street, the house I was born into. Yeah. But the only reason I stayed is because I was diagnosed with brain cancer, and I didn't want to spend my last year or two getting a divorce.
Yeah.
And I would have left so much sooner, and I wish I had. But at the same time, like I have 2 amazing kids. Yeah. And I would do it again if I got those 2 kids. But I wish I had left sooner. Yeah. And I had wished that my kids hadn't witnessed what he did to me. Yeah. And I don't know if they'll even remember it, but they watched him and like push, like it was terrible. Yeah. And Elliot used to have panic attacks, and he would wind him up, and then I'm the only one that can calm him down. And so they would take him away. So I couldn't even comfort him when he wound him up. Yeah. So I only know what to do when he has a panic attack. I'm like, dude, I'm a fucking nurse. I know what to do. So it was just, and then I was like, oh, maybe you're right. And he would say, he would blame my cancer on everything. So I would say, I told you this yesterday, and he said, no, you didn't. You have brain cancer. You might have thought you said that, but you didn't. And then I'd be like, no, I for sure said this to you. No, you didn't. And I'd be like, maybe I'm crazy. Yeah. And then since then, since I've left, that's never been a problem. So I'm like, oh, you were totally lying to me. Yeah.
How old are the kids now?
Quinn turns 13 on May 18th.
Nice.
And Elliot just got his learners yesterday. So he turned 16 in August.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
and there's Elliot's taller than me, and Quinn will be taller than me soon.
So we are at least beginning to age out of parenting.
Yes, they are. But Elliot's still afraid to stand up to his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, don't tell dad. I'm like, I can't. There's only so much I cannot tell your dad because it's your, it's hard.
Are your kids going to see this? Do your kids?
I have no idea.
Do your kids see stuff like that? Do you talk about them and they're like?
If it's longer than 3 minutes, they won't watch it. If it's longer than a minute, they won't watch it. So.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah. They don't even watch my old Broadway stuff. Like I found it online one time, and I was like, oh my god, I found it! And I'm like, oh, I can't even see you, and I'm like, okay, maybe one day they'll watch it.
Probably.
Yeah. I don't know.
Probably.
Maybe
You know what? I am honestly, like when I was I grew. So my mom was doing Hello Dolly when she was pregnant with me.
At Rainbow? Or?
Yeah. No. Sorry. No. At Hollow Mug.
What's that?
The Hollow Mug was at the International Inn.
I've heard of that.
It was like they did like review stuff. So they would do, a chunk of songs and some little sort of bits and whatever, and so she did that forever. And but yeah, sort of late 1969, early 1970, she was pregnant. Probably not early 1970 because she would have been pretty big, but late 1969, she was doing. So I guess I'm saying like I kind of have this in my DNA.
Well, my kids do too.
But when I was like a kind of that age. Yeah. I sort of like, I wanted to listen to cool music and I wanted to kind of be, you know what I mean? You're like, I don't want to be like a gay theater kid. I mean, not exactly what but you know what I mean? I don't want to be.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of, as I got older, like I started to appreciate it a little bit more for what it is. And I had just kind of, I had done several musicals.
Ellie was in a musical when he was 9.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he loved it.
So I'm just saying, like, maybe, maybe it'll come back.
I know. Well, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. And Quinn's still taking singing lessons, and they're both great singers, and yeah. So anyway, I want to talk about The Amazing Race. Is that okay?
We still have, we still have 25 minutes.
Perfect.
But I want to talk to you about one more thing, and then we'll talk about it.
Go for it.
And maybe I should give maybe I should have done this at the beginning. Maybe I should give a content warning, because I wanted to talk about. I don't even like saying it. The website that people have been talking about, the so-called. I'm saying it. The so-called Rape Academy.
Yes.
And it's. I had this whole discussion with Andy, and Andy's like, well, because it's not a word I use, and I don't like to use it, whatever. But we sort of had this discussion, and it's like, well, that's exactly what it is, and you need to use. People are not going to pay attention unless you actually, call it what it is. So go ahead and call it what it is.
Yep.
Because the problem is not me talking about it. The problem is that it exists, and then also the problem is, a big problem is like that since this has come out.
Even more people are going to it.
Well, but aside from that, like all these men, you look on social media and it's like all these women and non-binary folks like Andy and whoever are talking about it, and men, it's fucking crickets.
Yeah, I saw your post about it and I appreciated it.
I posted a couple of times and I looked and it's like
nobody else is
it's
posting.
like honestly
Disgusting.
it's like even people that are liking those posts, it's like, honest to God, like 10% men, and they're like, and half of them are like, queer and trans and whatever. Yeah. Like, but so like, straight cis dudes, like so small.
Men think they can get away with whatever they want.
And so, is that just like
my ex is a cis straight man, tall, handsome, and he thinks he can get away with just being charming.
So is it just, is it just another piece of the patriarchy? Is it just that same business?
I think so, but I think also too, like even with Trump in the office right now, it's like he can bad news or good news.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. It's just news, and he gets power off that. It's like my ex gets power off bad or good news.
And I did see an interesting thing, where somebody, they were talking about how virtue signaling used to be a thing, and they were saying now vice signaling is a thing. I don't even know what that is. Virtue signaling. Virtue signaling is talking, just sort of talking a big talk about
like how I'm so good.
And about, but vice signaling is like, because you can talk about all the terrible things you've done, like these, because all these people are doing it, like Andrew Tate and Donald Trump, and list all the,
felonies, the felonies,
list all these, list
happening.
Anybody in the manosphere, and they're talking about all these gross and terrible things they do, and then other people feel like that is an acceptable thing to talk about. They feel like it's an acceptable thing to do
because the president's doing it.
And
it's fine. So the president's doing it, I can do it.
And so it has entered the discourse, but I feel like there's a lot of sort of decent. I feel like there's a lot of decent men that just are kind of like deer in the headlights with this whole thing, and they're like, you know what I mean? They're just like, you disagree? You
don't disagree, but I feel as though I don't think they're deer in the headlights. I feel as though they know that it's not right, but they just don't really care enough to do anything about it.
Yeah.
They don't care enough to speak out about it. They don't care enough to say, no, this is not okay.
Yeah.
Or they're like, it doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest one. Oh, it doesn't affect me. I can just kind of put it to the side and just go on with my life. And I'm good. I'm a good person, so that's all I need to know.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's the main.
I'm gonna give you two more subsets.
Okay.
One I think is, this can't be real because this is not. I've never seen anything like this. I don't. And then the other subset is men that are afraid of the things that they've done coming back to haunt them, because I think,
we all make mistakes.
And I think I would say most men have done a thing that that they shouldn't have done, or they wish they didn't do, and somebody out there knows about it.
Yeah.
And so that's, even when when they've sort of been canceling people, or nobody ever stays canceled, by the way, but James Franco's been making all these movies in Europe, and same thing with Kevin Spacey. But I think it's this kind of like, I'm gonna sit in the back of the class, and hopefully the teacher's not gonna call on me because there is something that I don't want people to know.
Yeah, that's true. The same, like, I'm just gonna sit here and I don't want to think about it.
So all of those categories of men who are ignoring this, like, those are all bad. Yeah. None of them are good.
I agree.
So are straight cis men all, are we all, I'm not going to say we because I'm queer, but like, are we all write-offs? Like, what's the...
To me, yes.
Well, hey, that's okay.
Like, I haven't dated since I left.
Yeah.
And I sort of tipped my toe and sort of met someone and realized from talking to people that knew him that he was exactly like my ex. And you don't think there could be more than one of these people, let alone a gazillion of them. But it's like he lied, he cheated, and I'm like, why are men so like, they're fucked up?
Yeah.
They just,
you can swear if you want.
Okay, men
it's
are
fine.
fucked up. So I'm like,
so what can
maybe I'll just become a lesbian.
It seems
it's easier.
It seems fine.
It's easier. I like girls.
Yeah. Well, why not? No, I get it. Like, I get.
I don't trust a man.
Yeah.
I don't trust men. Period.
I get it. Like, even a couple of years ago, when the whole women choose the bear thing came out, a lot of men were like, rah, rah, rah. And I 100%.
I can take care of myself, so I'm good in that way. But I don't really need anybody else. Yeah. But sometimes I just miss having like a conversation with somebody at nighttime, and I just have my parents. Yeah. So it's okay.
So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do for your son to make sure that he doesn't grow up to be a man?
Yeah, I know. baby him the whole time. No, we've had lots of good conversations. He had a girlfriend for about a year.
Yeah.
And they just broke up a little bit ago. And he kept bringing up things that he shouldn't be bringing up. And I said, And so her name, she was over all the time. And only at our house. She was terrified of my ex. She wouldn't go over to my ex's house. So whenever Elliot was at my house, she would always be there. So, and like she came to the lake with us last summer, and like so they slept in separate, slept in different rooms. But like as far as I know, they never had sex. So, and like
just hope that he's not listening to this.
Whatever.
Whatever.
It doesn't matter.
Mom.
Mom. I don't think they don't have any idea what I do. They don't even know that anyway. So, even when sometimes they won't even come see a show that I'm in because it's not their day. Anyway. So, we have these deep conversations about what's good, what's bad, how he can behave. And, I said, do you want to be with this woman or do you not want to be with this woman? He goes, well, I didn't do anything. Do you want to be with her or do you not want to be with her? Because if you don't want to be with her, you can treat her like shit. And if you do want to be with her, then you can be kind and you can be nice. And he was like, oh, well, I thought I was. I said, no, you weren't. No, you weren't. And so we have to decide like what is being kind, what is being fair, and what is. Well, that's the thing. He always says it's not fair. It's not fair. And I was like, no, you're right. It's not fair. It's really not fair. But that's not how the world works.
So you're in the thick rich broth of parenting.
I mean, it's more. I am his friend, but I'm his parent first.
Yeah. I guess I just think we acknowledge that this is all a problem, and I mean either like you can be a lesbian, but the world is still going to be half full of cis dude, white straight cis dudes, and so we're going to continue to be a problem unless. Unless it's just biological. I mean, unless parents start doing something, because I think that the kids are being socialized however they're being socialized. Right.
So at his other parents' house, they get yelled at, they get blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So at my house, when they start to get angry, I just quiet my voice. Like, come talk to me when you're ready. I'm going to sit in your room. Well, then I'm leaving. I'm like, well, I'm going to come wherever you are, and I'm going to sit with you until you're ready to talk to me. And then they get sort of confused and they try to throw a big fit. I'm like, is that a good idea? And they're like, well, I just need to be quiet. I'm like, okay, I'll sit here with you, be quiet. And then they start explaining to me what's happening and what made them upset and why they're acting like this. I'm like, oh, that sucks. Tell me more. And they just tell me more. Or sometimes they're just I just need to be quiet. And I said, okay. And then kind of move closer, and then I sort of put my hand out, and they touch my hand, and I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. That must have been hard for you. And well, I don't even know why I was upset. I said, interesting. Let's see if we can figure that out later. So we talk about it later, and once they've calmed down. So it's, it's one of those things I just sort of had to learn that I can't react to them because that for them doesn't work. Yeah. Because that's how my ex was always doing it. Right. And that triggered them. So I'm like, oh, this is terrible. I can't do that at all. Yeah. So I just have to sit and be quiet.
So you're doing the best you can. You're doing the best you can, and we're not going to solve the man problem today.
No.
So it was 2001. It was September 10th, and there was a show that started called The Amazing Race, and I know because I watched
2022.
No, The Amazing Race US
started.
Yes. It was the day before September 11th. And then September 11th hit, and then they were like, can we still do this show? Because you couldn't.
COVID or?
No, the 9/11. It was the original American 2001. Show. 2001, yeah. And so
I was in New York.
It aired but it started
outside.
It started like the day before.
Did?
And so they were like, what are we going to do? And so they kept, doing it. And they've been doing the show in the States for 25 years. And I religiously watched it for the first 12 seasons. Yeah. so I have some questions for you about it. But so you're like, you're 9 years into your 6-year life sentence, and you decide that you're going to go on the Amazing Race. Like what?
Well, actually, we applied.
Amazing Race Canada.
Amazing Race Canada. It's just run by the same people.
Yeah.
So we applied in 2020.
Okay.
So we applied in 2019.
Oh yeah.
Got onto the show.
Okay.
So you have to you send in a little video, and that's all we did. We just sent in a 3-minute video.
Yeah.
And then Craig sent in like a 6-minute video. It was like,
Yeah.
just in case you wanted to know.
Yeah.
So he sent in the 6-minute video, and then we got a call. They wanted us to fill out some more paperwork and answer some questions, and then we do a Zoom interview with them, and then they called us in for an in-person interview in Winnipeg. So we did all that, and we got onto the show. And we were getting ready for it. We were watching everything. We were learning sign language. We were learning all the provinces and like the flowers and the flag, everything. And French, and then COVID hit. Yeah. And I didn't know if I'd be around. Yeah. When it came back again.
Really? Like you just thought?
Oh, yeah. I was like, they're like, well, we're gonna postpone it till the end of the summer. Yeah. Because at that point, COVID wasn't that big of a deal. Yeah, yeah. So
6 weeks or whatever it was. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So they postponed it at the end of the summer. We're going to do it then, and then they canceled it for the year, and they said, we're going to do it next year. You're still going to be on our list. And I'm like, a year from now, I don't know if I'm going to be here still. Yeah. And then they canceled that year. And they're like, we don't know if we're going to have it again. And I was like, okay. So I was like, we can't train for this anymore. Like, we can't, I have to forget about it. Yeah. And then they called us in like February saying we're leaving in April. Do you still want to go? And I was like, fuck yeah. So, but then I had to get an MRI to make sure that I was clear. Yeah. And then I had to get an MRI when I got back. And so
was there any I don't want to sound terrible, but was there any concern among the production team that you were like going to die on the road?
I had to be cleared. Yeah. I had to be cleared by and like, I don't look sick. No, I mean, no, you look so good. We're in great shape. We were good, and people didn't really know it until we told them that I had it. So, but they were a little concerned, and we were like, no, you can talk to my doctor, like Dr. Peets, Marshall, that it was okay for me to go, and it cleared me, and we just wanted to do this as an experience for me to have. And we ended up, our motto, not our motto, but our goal was to just be in it for the whole show and just like go to all the places and do all the things. And then we actually ended up winning.
Well, that's the whole show.
It is the whole show.
So I also watched like the first million seasons of Survivor. So Survivor had come out the year before. Yeah. Survivor had come out the year before.
Are you watching season 50?
No, I gave up a long time ago, but
I'm watching season 50.
but so Survivor was interesting because it was obvious that it was this different kind of skill set. Mm-hmm. But like to me, the Amazing Race really seemed to me like you had to have good communication with your partner.
Yeah. That's the whole thing, really.
And also isn't like just kind of not losing your shit. Like that has to be like, I've seen people just like
freak out.
You know what I mean? And then you can't, you've got a complicated thing you need to do, and you're like this, and you can't.
We were just enjoying ourselves so much because when you on the race, they take away your phones, they take away like your hotel phone, they take away your TV. Because now on the TVs you can like Google stuff. Oh yeah. So they took away the TVs, so they give you a deck of cards. Yeah. And some like crossword puzzles and like Sudoku puzzles and stuff like that. So in every hotel room. Yeah. So it was just us, and we lived together in a tiny, smaller than our hotel room. Place in Toronto. And so we're like, oh, this is familiar. This is fun. And so we just sort of pretended we were back in the day and had the best time.
And so when did you, how soon after did you watch the whole thing?
Well, we ended May 23rd. Yeah. And then the first episode aired July 5th.
Okay. So you just watched it every week.
I was doing Rainbow Stage that summer. So I sort of had my ear pod in, and so like they were having parties.
Yeah.
But then once it ended, I was able to go to a couple watch parties.
Were you surprised about any kind of how it ended up sort of, or stuff that you missed and stuff like?
There was a lot of parts that, like a lot of things that everybody had done that weren't included, but like it's the most real reality show that there is.
Yeah.
I think, because I mean, I've never been on any other one, but I know people from other ones that say, oh yeah, no, you're like, you don't do it twice, you just do it once, and like, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
And they can only control it so much.
Yeah.
So, so it was pretty real.
Now, so how long has Amazing Race Canada been going?
Well, they were gone for 2 years, so this is we were at season 8, 9, 10, 11, so it's 12. This is their 12th year.
So
They probably just started now.
Okay, so do they have like any?
They're almost done now, I think.
In Canada, do they have all-star seasons? Do they bring people back?
Not yet. So Craig and I are both American.
Okay.
So we've been trying to get onto the American one too.
Okay.
So, but they won't do that unless it's an all-star one again.
Yeah. Okay.
So, but because they don't have enough winners from this yet. So now they do. When we were there, it was eight winners.
Yeah.
So, so maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to do it again. It was amazing. But I don't know that I'd want to do it again.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was a lot harder than you think it is. Because you're like, oh, I could do that. Oh, I'd do that in a heartbeat. And I'm like, but you don't even see, like a lot of these challenges took 2, 3, 4 hours to do. And you don't see that.
And you do sort of, you don't know how long it's been all the time, but you do see sometimes see like people like in the weeds, and you see people like, I've seen people give up. I've seen just like, people just can't, they just are done.
In our season, everybody was, so because it was 2 years apart, they sort of, half of the people that they had cast originally were still there, and then they had to sort of recast the rest of the team. And they got like, there was a Olympic, not speed skater,
skiing, cross country.
Cross country skiing. Sounds like it's cross country skier, and there was like a football player, and like all these teams that were like super, like one owned one was a fireman, and they owned a sport, and I was like, we got there, and we thought we were in like really good shape, and we're like, oh my god, we're not in shape, and like when we won, I think it's still the case. We were the oldest by 17 years that have ever won the Amazing Race.
Really?
Yeah, together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I know.
How old were they?
I'm the oldest woman that's ever won it.
Like, were they? Is everybody else 20?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Well, not everybody, but a lot of them were.
Yeah.
Or like 28, 29. Yeah, I know. Not even married. I have 2 kids.
That's amazing. Yeah. We've just got about 3 more minutes. I want to ask you, what are you working on now?
Craig and I wrote a show.
Yeah.
We performed it here in Winnipeg last year, but we're performing it again in Winnipeg, October 9th and 10th at the gas station theater.
Okay, yeah.
And
the gas station doesn't smell like Subway anymore, so that's good.
I know, it smells delicious. So this is a show that's adult only, and Craig is helping me write a book. So we sort of sat down and said, oh, we can't put that in the book. And then Craig was like, we should take all the stuff that we can't put in the book and make a show out of it. I'm like, great idea. So we turned it into a show, and it's singing, dancing, and telling the story of our friendships all the way till now, which includes, getting on Broadway, the people we've been with, and the celebrities slept with before they were even celebrities, and how we sort of didn't lie, but sort of showed up anyway. It's like, what are they going to do? Tell me to go away? You know? So just sort of how we managed our friendship, and we've never fought, ever, not one day. And so, like, he called me this morning when I was at the gym, and I was like, I can't talk. I'm on the stair stepper. And he's like, well, you can just listen. I was like, okay, go ahead, talk. So, we just have this friendship where we know neither one of us will ever hurt each other.
Yeah.
And so he's really the only person that I've ever trusted so much with everything.
And he's gay, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the only reason. That's the only reason you can trust him.
Yeah. 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 100%. And but like he's been. I actually outed him in Toronto. So I thought everybody knew.
When did you out him?
When I was 18.
Okay.
We were living together in Toronto, and I was stopped by MTV.
Yeah.
And they were like doing this the gay thing, and I probably had a little bit too much to drink. And they're like, Catherine, excuse me, miss, do you like gay men? Do you support gay men? I'm like, of course I do. My roommate, Craig Ramsey's gay. And then I got home and he's like, you just outed me on television. I'm like, doesn't everybody know you're gay? And he's like, no. And I'm like, I think your parents do.
Maybe that was your one fight.
No, he's like, I can't believe you didn't. I'm like, well, now everybody knows.
That's funny.
Yeah. So we're doing this show. We do keynotes. I work with Speakers Bureau, and I do keynotes for them. We're doing one in Richmond, BC, in May, at the end of May. We do it together. It's a song and dance, but it's not. It's family friendly, and we base it on whatever the people need. It's like a 45-minute.
You seem like a person. You seem like you're built for sort of rolling with the punches, and
yes.
That's the the ADHD. That's the hey, I'll do this. Yeah. This is happening. Okay, that's fine. But still, I mean, do you ever I don't know. Do you ever just have a second where you're like, you just kind of marvel at sort of what your life has kind of turned into? Because probably this is not what you thought.
No.
If you did have an idea what might,
I never really. So when I was diagnosed, before I was diagnosed, I'm like, yes, we have this plan. I have 2 kids. I'm married. I'm going to be a nurse because I have a nursing degree. I'm going to be a nurse. This is great, and he can do that, and I'll just do work and be with my kids and blah blah blah. And we're staying in Oklahoma, and then when I was diagnosed, I'm like, oh, nothing matters anymore. What do I want to do? And I wanted to sing again, and I wanted to act again, and I wanted to dance again. I hadn't danced for like 9 years.
Yeah.
And because I had that surgery, I couldn't speak and I couldn't move. I could dance still.
Yeah.
So I got back into dancing shape.
Yeah.
And stretched every day, and continue to stretch every day today, and exercised and sang. And when I couldn't speak, I learned Ula from the producers, her songs and her sides. Yeah. Because it helped me learn how to speak again.
Really?
Yeah, which is crazy. And then because I don't have a short-term memory, I did Cassie, a chorus line, and that was a lot of dancing and a lot of speaking, and I ran the sides 3 times a day and sang the songs 3 times a day. So when it was like in my long-term memory. Yeah. So that's what I do when I have to do shows and stuff. I played Princess Diana last year at MTC, and I was just enthralled with what I was doing and just learning about her and learning the sides, and I didn't even have to sing. So just learning the sides in a British accent, and it was crazy.
How's your British accent? Good?
Now it's good. It was terrible before. I was like, they wanted me to audition for this, and I was like, no, I can't do a British accent. I'm like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm like, okay.
We're out of time.
I know.
It's gone by so fast.
I know.
You thought, how are we going to fill an hour?
I never thought, how are we going to fill an hour?
You need to come by another time in the future, and we'll sit here for another hour. But thank you so much. Catherine Wreford has been my guest. This has been Kelly Hughes Live Slices. I was looking for the slogan. You remember the slogan? We're going to say the slogan. We're going to say thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to say, Art will save us all. Thank you.